Have you heard about SoulACE Day? No? Well, let me get you started before I have some very special guests here to fill you in the rest of the way. SoulACE Day is a brand new observance this year, taking place on February 16th. Direct from the Reddit post where it was announced, it's a day to celebrate the intersectionality of African American asexual folks and their contributions to asexual activism, art, and culture. It was created by some good friends of mine. Marshall J. Blount, aka Gentle Giant Ace, who we've seen on this channel before, Alicia Rogers, also known as Your Girl Lisi, and Kimberly Butler, aka the Asexual Goddess. In just a moment, I'll let Kim and Marshall fill you in on so much more about this amazing project that they've created. But be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, and share it out so that we can get the word out on this great project that they've created. And let me know in the comments, what would you like to be doing to celebrate or to promote SoulACE Day? Now, I won't keep you waiting. Here's my conversation with Marshall J. Blount, aka Gentle Giant Ace, and Kim Butler, the Asexual Goddess. Enjoy. All right, welcome back to my channel, everybody. I am here with two amazing ACE creators, activists. You know Marshall. He's been on our channel before, Gentle Giant Ace. And I also want to welcome Kimberly Butler, also known as Asexual Goddess. I've been a big fan of both of you for a long time. Marshall, you already knew that. But it's an honor to have both of you here today. And we're here to talk about something very special that you've been working on. Marshall, Kim, would you like to tell us about this amazing project you've got going on?
Yeah. You want to go first, Kim?
Oh, no, you're fine. Yeah.
So SoulACE Day was basically inspired by the kind of like the resurgence of interest within African American culture on TikTok and the history of it, but I felt like it was missing a element of us in it as asexual people, because usually in the community we don't have our voices heard. So I felt like, why not in the middle of Black History Month to have a day that celebrates the intersectionality between African Americans and asexual people.
Okay, and for those of you who are unfamiliar with Marshall or with Kim, would the two of you like to introduce yourselves a little bit and talk a little bit about some of the things that you've done in the ACE community thus far?
Yeah. So for me, I can't even remember. It's been a long time at this point. It's over 10 years. I started making YouTube channels, and I was just making stuff that was more informative for Aero Ace people, and just, kind of getting the information out there about, like, what it is, if you can, like, how to figure out if you are Ace and stuff like that. So I'm just like mostly known from like YouTube. I just like more recently got on Twitter and stuff, and I personally have a comic on Webtoon and Tapas. I kind of have to update Tapas, but it's called Willow and the Family Ace. So I'm trying to move more into the artistic style of like getting the asexual representation. That's kind of what I want to be known for, because I feel like I kind of built up in the YouTube space, and I'm like, I'm more of an artistic person, so I kind of want to just give representation for aces of color, whether it's Black, Hispanic, Asian, anybody, through that medium. So yeah, that's pretty much about me, I would say.
Yeah, for me, I have been making YouTube videos for almost 8 years, and basically sharing my experiences of being asexual in a very outlaw world. And at first, it started off as a page where I just went around filming random shots of my city, to one day just being like, I just came out, so why not just share my journey with being asexual in a late 2010s, 2020s kind of world. I've got my start on a committee for my city for lgbtqia plus affairs. I withdrew my spot there out of protest due to the situation with George Floyd. and I moved on to the state committee, where unfortunately I just recently withdrew, but I want to get back to my roots, to being an activist, like being on panels, just having conversations with my community without being which again, I'm going to be a target one way or another, but not on the state level. So I'm still on asexual outreach. That's not changing anytime soon, but I'm no longer on the states committee as of now.
Okay, and another thing that I know my viewers will recognize Marshall from, the two of us have both gotten proclamations for ACE Week in our respective states. So both of you, I want to say I really appreciate all of the work that you've both put in for this community. And like I said earlier, it's an honor to have both of you here to talk with, including SoulACE Day, which I just think is an incredible idea. And I'm so happy that you're doing this. What are some of your main goals for SoulACE Day? Like, what are you hoping that people take away from it?
I just want to highlight the intersectionality between African Americans and asexual, and also make sure that more people are aware of that intersection, and also have people within the ACE community learn more about African American culture, whereas maybe people in the community don't know that you have the lgbtq people, the Tidewater Creole people, the Louisiana Creole people, and the Chicago Mississippians, etc. It will bring more awareness of our culture to the community, where for many years has not been highlighted, because unfortunately this community is stereotyped as being overwhelmingly white, which unfortunately in some cases it is, but it's changing, and SoulACE Day is definitely part of that change.
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of it. Especially in terms of representation, Black aces definitely don't have a lot of representation, and then also just like to not have a wide range of representation, and how do I put it? Like, like we can't even indulge in the tropes, right? Like, the stereotypical ace tropes where it's like, oh, an alien robot, and stuff like that. We don't even have that. We don't have anything. I think the only we have a couple characters in media. We have Connor Hawk from DC Comics. He's asexual, so that's like Black asexual man. Also, I think he's biracial, so he's also Asian and a couple other things, so that's amazing. Then we have the character from Big Mouth. I know he's Black. We have a couple books by Ace and Aro authors and stuff, which is amazing, but I don't think it gets as much traction. So I think that having Black ace representation is very important, because like we don't see ourselves in media that often all the time, and just like having that ace component on top of that is definitely like, yeah, you're not getting any representation. So yeah, definitely about the representation and pulling in the culture of being a Black American and stuff.
Yes.
Excellent. What are some of the challenges, more common challenges that Black aces face within both the Black community and the ace community?
I would say, wow, invisibility as one. That's like a big one. On both scales, like as a Black person, you're gonna face a lot of hardships, even with your own people, in terms of like just both areas, right? In the Black community, a lot of times we not only have invisibility, but a lot of the LGBTQ Black people are kind of disowned by our community and try to make like, oh, like you're not a part of us, And so because of that, it just kind of creates this like thing where it's like, okay, on top of that, being sexualized in American culture constantly, through slavery, Jim Crow, etc. It's like, how are we going to break that mold and try to create these spaces for people to be themselves authentically, whether it's being Black or ace, and so it just, yeah, I don't know, like I lost my train of thought. It's ADHD. I'm sorry.
It's definitely like everything I think of, especially in regards to being like African American and asexual in a space where we face a lot of cultural norms, and usually a lot of those cultural norms are luckily like phasing away in terms of like why aren't you married by 30 and having kids? Which again, if you're asexual African American and want that's what you want, that's valid, but not a lot of us don't. But I think also it's the fact that every time we speak up, like it's always during a trend. Like it's like a lot of people cannot get enough of hearing Black, particularly African American voices during the BLM movement. Whereas after that fizzled out, we put out our stuff, not a lot of traffic. And I think with this day, it definitely highlights that it would just be a day for us to push out the works that we produce amongst ourselves to have people learn more about. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, both of you, for sharing with me on all of this. Like I said, I'm so excited to help spread awareness of this day. I think it's a wonderful concept that you've come up with here. Again, SoulACE Day is February.
It's February 16th. If you are of African American descent, an American descendant of enslaved folks, put your art out, your music, share your story. Just have fun. It's your day. Have fun with it.
Excellent. Again, thank you so much for both of you being here. Make sure, everybody, that you go and follow both Kim and Marshall. I'm going to put all of their info in the description, as well as much info on SoulACE Day, where you can learn all about what they're doing, and make sure that you post on social media. Make SoulACE Day visible everywhere you can. I love it. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you.